Hello, welcome back. Today we will discuss brightness, adaptation and discrimination. It is lecture 6. The recent past we are studying different noise removal technique with edge preserving. Now edge preserving technique we have discussed using weighted least mean square filter. Now discussing those filters, we have come across some terms which are very useful to explain in detail. In the weighted least mean square filtering, we have discussed that to optimize the object function, there were some terms associated with that. Those terms to minimize the data term and to minimize the other term, that is smoothness term. The smoothness term is associated with the function lambda. That lambda function or lambda parameter is smoothness coefficient or smoothness parameter. Now that smoothness parameter if we increase the value of lambda, then the image will be smoothened. Whereas if we decrease the value, smoothness will be reduced. Now how much smoothness is required, that is a question, or base value what is, that depends on image to image. So inside that term, that we will discuss that in another class, but for today's class we are just giving ideas. The smoothness term consists of few values, that is the partial derivative of x-axis as well as y-axis. Now there are some coefficient ax and ay. That ax and ay both are the partial derivative of log luminance scale. Now, to express what is the meaning of log luminance scale, we are today going to give the detailed idea about that log luminance scale or channel. So today's topic is brightness, adaptation and discrimination. Human visual system is eye. So we have to know what is the exact human visual system is and how we visualize an image. Visual perception, how images are formed in the eye, eye's physical limitation, human visual interpretation of images. Now this is the structure of human eye. So this figure shows a simplified horizontal cross-section of the human eye. The eye is nearly a sphere with an average diameter of approximately 20 millimeters. Three membranes enclose the eye: the corona, the sclera, outer cover, the choroid, and the retina. The cornea is a tough, transparent tissue that converts the anterior surface of the eye. Continuous with corona and sclera is an opaque membranes that enclose the remainder of the optic globe. The centroid lies directly below the sclera, the membranes containing a network of blood vessels that serve as the major source of nutrition to the eye. Even superficial injury to the choroid often not deemed serious, can lead to severe eye damage. Now the lens. Lens is made up of concentric layers of fibroid cells and is suspended by fibers that attach to the ciliary body. It contains 60 to 70% water and 6% fat and more protein than any other tissue in the eye. The lens is colored by a slightly yellow pigmentation that increases with age. In extreme cases, excessive clouding of the lens caused by the affection, commonly referred to as contracts, can lead to poor color discrimination and loss of clear vision. The lens absorbs approximately 8% of the visible light spectrum with relatively higher absorption at shorter wavelengths. Both infrared and ultraviolet light are absorbed appreciably by proteins within the lens structure and in excessive amount can damage the eye. The innermost membranes of the eye is retina, which lines the inside of the wall's entire posterior portion. Now, so the structure of human eyes, the cones are almost dense in the center of retina. Density of cones in the area of fovea is 150,000. That is to 1,50,000 elements per millimeter square. The number of cones in fovea is 3,37,000 elements. Now, image formation in the eyes. The distance between the center of the lens and the retina focal length varies from 70 millimeter to 14 millimeter. The shape of the lens is controlled by the tension of the fibers of the ciliary body. The retina image is reflected primarily in the area of fovea. Perception is excitation of light receptors which transform radiant energy into impulses that are ultimately decoded by the brain. So, this is the eye image formation in the eyes, like pinhole camera. Whatever the object we are finding, that is inverted inside the eye. So it is nothing but the same principle as that of pinhole camera. Now today's topic is brightness, adaptation and discrimination. Because digital images are displayed as a discrete set of intensities, the eye's ability to discriminate between the different intensity levels is an important consideration in image processing results. The range of light intensity levels to which the human visual system can adapt is enormous, of the order of 10 to the power 10, from the scopic threshold to glare light. Experiment evidence indicates that subjective brightness, that is to intensity as perceived by the human visual system, is logarithmic function of the intensity light incident on the eye. So that is our main objective of today's class. So whatever the light we are perceived by eyes, that is human eyes, that is logarithmic in nature. So the subjective brightness is a logarithmic function of light intensity incident on the eye. That is very important for our discussion, why we are discussing today's class. So as our human perception of light is logarithmic in nature, for that reason, in the weighted least mean square, we have to consider the coefficient in the smoothness term controlling parameters ax and ay value as the log luminance scale. Log luminance scale means if it is a color image, RGB, normal RGB image, then we are not getting the exact intensity of the eye, of the image. So first we have to convert the RGB image either to HSB or YCBCR or any other scale where we can get the luminance channel. In the luminance channel, we can convert that to the logarithmic channel so that it will be more adaptive to our eyes for controlling. So direct brightness or direct intensity will not be taken. Log luminance channel value will be taken instead of direct channel value. So now it is clear why you have to take the log luminance channel value. So it is the log intensity, and in the y-axis it is the subjective brightness. And stochastic threshold is showing. So today's class is basically for this, why we are taking log luminance scale in weighted least mean square noise removal technique using edge preserving. So we are ending today's session. Thank you for patience hearing.